What is up, guys? It's your boy Nick Torius, back again with another video. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I'm gonna be talking about sales, right? So sales, how do you close a deal, right? The art of closing, right? The art of the deal. How do you make more sales? You gotta sell, right? No, I'm just kidding. Sales, you gotta remember that sales starts off as a numbers game, right? Like when you first start, like let's say you got a business and you gotta make more sales. When it comes to sales, you always, before I get into telling you how to make sales, first off I want to give a little backstory, right? I used to work at a gym, right? And I had to sell personal training. So while I was there, they were teaching me how to sell, right? And they were like, oh, do this, do that, da, 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 this is how you sell, this is how you sell. So I had a lot of training in sales. And I also had a lot of, they made me realize, like working at the gym made me realize how important sales were, right? Because they really they would push us so hard to sell personal training. They're like, sell the personal training, sell the personal training. Like they would give us incentives, rewards, all that shit. You know, and honestly, I didn't take it as serious because I was just like, man, I'm just working at the gym. I don't give a fuck, I just want a job. So I didn't really care too much about the selling. But honestly, like when I look back at it, I'm very appreciative of it because it really gave me that sales personality. You get me? Like it gave me that skill of how to sell things because I started my business and I also sell tattoos, right? Like you don't just do a tattoo. Like when people like get tattoos, a tattoo is a luxury item basically, right? A tattoo is something that you don't need. You don't need a tattoo. I don't need to get a tattoo when my rent needs to be paid and I got 5 kids to feed. You feel me? Like if that's your first priority, then you got a problem with your priority. You feel me? But yeah, you have to you know, you have to sell the tattoo. You don't just, oh yeah, let's tattoo, right? Someone has to buy it. So if you're able to sell, then you're able to do more things, right? The first rule of selling is always, you don't just sell to people, right? Like when it comes to selling things, you're not just selling to somebody. Like someone doesn't just buy from you, right? In order for you to buy something, like you gotta make a friend, right? People only buy things from their friends. People only buy things from people that they like. That's the first thing, right? That's why it's always important to look your best, right? That should be actually the first rule of sales. Like if you're gonna be doing like face-to-face selling, like not like over the computer or some shit, yeah, not just like online selling, right? Like face-to-face selling. If you're doing face-to-face selling, you always gotta look your best, right? Like that's why right now I got a haircut. I ain't get a haircut to pull holes, right? That's a byproduct. But I got a haircut because I can't be tattooing people looking all crazy. You feel me? I can't be tattooing someone and then you know, they're like, I'm touching this person's skin. You feel me? I'm on this person's body. They don't want this gross, nasty nigga touching on their skin, being all over their body, right? So it's important that you take care of yourself, right? It's important that, because that's like the rule of making friends in the first place. If you want friends, look friendly, look presentable, right? You gotta look like you are a person that people want to hang out with, right? You gotta look like someone. Like I know I be looking crazy sometimes, but when I do dress up, you know, I be dressing. You feel me? like call me sad, I be dressing, nigga. But whatever. Always have your appearance in check, right? Always make sure that you look good. The second thing is someone has to be a friend, right? Like let's say I want to sell someone a tattoo. What I do is let's say it's like a cold call, right? When you do cold calls, like, all right, let's say that I'm in this store and then someone has a tattoo, right? And I see, oh, that person has a tattoo. I'm not gonna just be like, hey bro, take my business card, I'll do more tattoos for you. Like, nah, hell no, fuck that. You go up to them and you just be like, oh, that's a nice tattoo, man. Where'd you get it from, right? You gotta be interested in them, right? You gotta ask questions. You gotta be, and I feel like that's why it's good that I started doing interviews, because when I started doing interviews, I started asking questions, right? And I got good at asking people questions. So I just be interested and was like, oh, so where'd you get that from? Oh yeah, you know, Yeah, woody woo. this, that, and the third. But I be watching a lot of YouTubers from New York. But whatever. The third way to make sales, after you've made a friend, right? Just ask them. Like, that's what I learned in the gym too. In the gym, what we would do is we would take people around the gym, and then we would ask them, like, oh, so what's your goals? What's your daily goals? What's this goal? What's that goal? Right? Like, you ask them what their goals are, right? You get interested in them. You make a friend. You don't just ask them what their goals are either. You ask them, like, oh, so what do you eat? Oh yeah, and you make a connection, right? If you make a connection with someone, it's easier for you to get in their wallets. That's why people say, like, oh, salesmen are shisty, or like they're conniving and this and that. Because the thing is that a good salesman is a friend, right? A good salesman doesn't sell anything. A good salesman is someone that makes you feel like, oh yeah, that's my dog, right? That's why they say, oh, I have a plumber, right? That's my plumbing guy. That's my tattoo guy. That's my barber. That's my this and that, right? Like, people don't want to. People don't just go to the store like, oh yeah, I got my service there, I got my service here. It's like a girl with a bunch of dudes, right? Like, you don't want to go with the girl that has a bunch of dudes. You just want a girl that has one dude, right? Or no dudes, and be that one dude. So it's the same thing. Like, when people say, oh yeah, that's my this guy, my that guy, is because that's their friend. They consider that person a friend because they have their business, right? That's why I read Donald Trump's book, The Art of the Deal, and he explained that business isn't made in the boardroom. Business is made on the golf course, right? And it's always funny to me when people complain about Donald Trump playing golf for like 100 days or some shit, right? Like, that's so dumb to me. Like, because people just don't understand that. And it's so funny because I understand, right? It's the same thing. Donald Trump be playing golf all day because he's not playing golf, he's making business deals on the golf course. That's why golf is so important. Because if you're playing golf is a long ass sport, right? Because the thing is, golf is like the perfect sport for business, if you think about it, right? If you ever want to do like good business shit, just learn golf. Like, if you just want to be good at business, learn golf. Because first of all, golf is like the most expensive sport to play because you have to have a country club membership. And them shits ain't cheap. Them shits are fucking expensive, right? Because I was about to say that Tiger Woods was the most highest paid athlete, but I don't really know, so I'm not gonna just say it. I think he was, but he's very rich, right? And why is Tiger Woods rich? And he's black, right? He's a black dude, and he's rich, playing golf, right? Imagine how many. Because the thing is like, when being around rich people rubs off on you, right? If you're hanging around 5 rich people, you're gonna be the 6th one. If you're hanging around 4 rich people, you're gonna be the 5th, right? Same with hanging around broke people. If you're hanging around 4 broke people, you're gonna be the 5th broke person. So if you just play golf, you'll learn the skills that you need from these rich people. You'll make rich friends, and you'll make rich friend business deals because all the rich people play golf. That makes sense. Because I used to sell, I wasn't selling timeshares, but I was doing timeshare management, right? Or whatever, like customer service. And it's funny because now I realize that the timeshares had these golf courses, right? And I didn't realize how important the golf courses were, because that's where all these people network, because they go to Cabo and then they go on the golf courses. And I just realized that. Whatever. The 5th way of sales is to close, right? The art of closing. Because no, before that, that is the 5th one. Number 4, right? The best thing to do is to know everything about what you're selling. Everything, right? The top people, when I was at the gym, the top people that made the most sales were the people who sold the most, who knew the most about fitness, right? The people that the personal trainers knew the most about fitness, so they sold the most personal training. The more you know about something, the more you can sell it, right? If you know everything about your product, that's just like, no matter what you're selling, if you're selling jewelry, if you're selling clothes, if you're selling MacBooks or computer electronics, just learn everything there is to know about that product. Because the more, literally the more, because there's so much to learn about it, right? And literally, the more you learn about it, the more easier it is to sell. Because because the more information you have about a product, the more valuable it is, right? It's more valuable the more information you have about it. So just learn everything you can about the product. And number 5, this is gonna be the last one. Gotta go to work. The last thing for sales, to make more sales, is to not be afraid to ask for a sale, right? This was a problem when I started selling personal training. I was always scared to ask for money. I was always scared to ask because the thing is I had low self-esteem, right? So I would always be like, oh, why would they give me money? Why would they sell it to me? I don't know. I don't know. Right? So I would always think so negatively. And I would think so, you gotta think positive as fuck, right? That's why I appreciate that gym, because they were like super positive mindset and all that shit. That's why I ain't fit there. But yeah, so you have to always think positive and always never be afraid to sell the members, sell the product, right? Don't ever be afraid to ask for the money. Don't ever be afraid of closing. Don't ever be afraid of telling, all right, sign here, right? Don't ever be, because the thing is, a lot of times I would sell it, right? And then I would think like, oh, I would be so excited. I would just have a high, right? And for my life, anytime that I have a high, it comes like an immediate low, right? And sometimes I would sell something and I'm like, yes. And then they would be like, I changed my mind. And it's like, what the fuck? What? What do you mean you changed your mind? And then I would think like, yeah, I'm getting this big ass commission and I ain't get shit. So I'm just like, damn, that's fucking ass, right? But still, it don't matter. Because honestly, like those things, I feel like realize now they're good for me. But don't ever be afraid to ask for the money. You feel me? With that being said, ask me any more questions. Get in my head. I have a lot of sales experience. So if you want me to make any more videos on sales or anything, just ask me and I'll make those videos. Like the video. Let's get the video to 5K likes. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll get back to you in another video. Peace.